Everything in the 10 Commandments is summed up in love God with all that you are, and love other people as yourself.
Mm.
I feel like that's so simple just to live. And every day, whatever decision you're faced with, running it through those two filters.
Mm-hmm.
Is this decision going to be a decision that loves God? And is it going to love other people the way that I love myself? I think that's just, for me, I feel like that simplifies it a lot. So seeing those two things, they're the same thing expressed differently, I think is really cool. And just another reason why the Bible is so awesome, supernaturally written, supernaturally preserved. And no other book in the world could have two things written so far apart and yet work together so well.
Yeah. And the 10 Commandments even breaks down in that way you're describing too. I mean, the first 4 are generally connected to God and vertically, and the last 6 are generally connected to horizontally, relationships and people. But in a broader sense, I think you also see, I mean, as the gospel fuel name of the podcast, I think you also see like Jesus came to fulfill the 10 Commandments. So you also you see that like it's different, but it's the same. But you also see like Jesus knew his people couldn't keep 10 Commandments, and Jesus knew we can't love God and love others perfectly, but he came to do that for us. So you look and you just see like, man, like, you know, you read that as a kid sometimes and you go, it's really daunting. Like, I don't think I can do those, especially when Jesus comes along and says, do not murder, but he comes along and makes it worse and says like, if you're angry, you're basically murdering in your heart. And you're like, I really can't keep this. But Jesus is basically, you know, he's like, yeah, I know. I can though. And I did, and I will. So I think that's just it's a really cool picture of the gospel there.